Hey fashion girly, welcome to my channel. Today look at these beautiful styles and we'll be talking about how to state your price for these beautiful styles. Sometimes you need to know how to calculate your prices accurately in order for you to be able to state your price correctly. Now let's get into it. The first thing you need to do for this style is to identify the kind of fabric that was used. So for this dress, the Mikado fabric was used. And then you need to determine the number of yards that was used. Look at the way the sleeve is, look at the length. So for this, if you are making it for an average person with an average height, you'll be using 2.5 yards of fabric. But if you are making it for a very small person, the petite person, you'll be using 2 yards of Mikado because of the width, so that it can get to the sleeve. So let's say 2.5 yards of Mikado. A yard of Mikado is 3,000 naira. So 2.5 yard is 7,500 naira. Write that down first. Then you look at the tassels that was used for the down part. So counting it, I realized it has 12 tassels, 6 for the front and 6 for the back. And per single tassel is 200 naira, which is 2,400 naira. So when you write it down, you have 7,500 and you have 2,400 naira. Right. Then the lace edge that was used to design the down part of the dress, depending on the kind of lace you're getting, the lace trimmings, or depending on the design you're using, if it is a lace or a trimmings. Here we budgeted 2,500 naira for 2 yards, so it will go around the front and the back. Then for the sleeve edge lace, 2 yards will be needed for the sleeve, 1 yard for the first sleeve, and the other one is 1 yard. So 4,000 naira per yard for each. 2 is 8,000 naira. When you calculate all together, you have 20,400 naira. Then you look into other things that you'll be needing thread. Let's say thread of 300 naira. Your weaving cost is 500 naira, even if you're weaving it by yourself. Then your Emmy gum is 500 naira. So that is like an additional 1,300 naira, and you have 21,700 naira. So you approximately and sum it up to 22,000 naira. Now this is just for the fabric alone that you'll be using to make this dress. And don't forget, stating your price has to do with the kind of trimmings you want to use. So make sure you do your findings very well before stating your price. This is just like an overview of how to break down your price before giving your clients your price. Now we've been able to calculate 21,700, approximately 22,000 naira, like that. Now there is a rule to how you can actually put your price. There is something we call markup in pricing. So if you're going to do 50% markup or 100% markup, this has to do with either your brand is small or it is big. It is also determined by the kind of value your brand gives. Are you giving a luxury vibe? Do you know what you are doing? So it all depends. Don't let anybody rush you as a business owner. Just do what works for you. But there are 2 markup methods that I'm going to tell you to use. One is 50% and the other one is 100%. Now know what your clients are willing to pay and how much they are willing to pay. So let's go to the 50% markup. For the 50% markup, it means you are dividing the cost of the fabric, or the total cost of what you're using to sew the fabric, into 2, and then you'll be adding it to your price. So 50% of 22,000 naira is 11,000 naira. So if you're adding 11,000 naira, 11,000 naira is going to be your gain or overhead cost. And you can also add, if you're going to be using a foil to sew it, how many liters of foil, maybe a liter or 2 liters. So 50% markup is 11,000 naira, and when you add 11,000 naira to 22,000 naira, it is going to give you 33,000 naira. Now do not make the mistake of telling your clients that it is 33,000 naira, because they might want to price down. So you had 2,000 naira for miscellaneous or pricing fee or negotiation fee, or you can add 3,000 naira for negotiation fee because they might want to negotiate it down. So you wrap it up and the client is paying you 35,000 or 37,000. So if the client price down, don't let them eat into your money. That is for 50% markup. Now to 100% markup. 100% means you are charging the same amount as the price of your fabric and everything you are getting. And kindly note that if you are still a small business owner, do what works for you. Do not chase your clients away with heavy prices, but just so you know how your pricing is done, especially if you give value and your work is neat and your work is appreciated. Now 100% markup means you are charging the same amount as your fabric price, or as the cost of everything you are going to need. So if the cost of your fabric and everything you need is 22,000 naira, 100% markup is 22,000 naira, so which means the client is paying you 44,000 naira. Then you can add miscellaneous of maybe 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 naira, and tell the client that this clothes cost 45,000 naira. Now this is what happens when you go online and you see different fashion brands saying different prices for the same outfit. So it all depends on your profit margin, if you are doing 50% markup or 100% markup, or you are just saying, oh, for now your brand is still small and people are still getting to know it, you want to charge 5,000 naira or 10,000 naira as your profit and nothing is eating into it. But the major reason for this pricing is that you should not run at loss when it comes to charging for your fabric. So with that being said, I've been able to show you how you can state your price for this particular dress. And if you're still watching this video, kindly like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment. So if you want me to state how you can state your price for the other two beautiful outfits there, drop it in the comments and I'm going to do that for you. Once again, welcome to Diary of a Naija Tailor, and thank you for watching my video. Do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and engage. You can share this with a fashion designer who is going to need this, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.